Welcome to this presentation about an innovative approach to EAP learning, student reflective writing practice via a web-based app. My name is Ruth Bowles. My role involves supporting academic skills development at the University of Sussex, and I have with me my colleagues who have also been working on this project.
Hello everyone, my name is Moisés. I live in Mexico and I'm a music composer and sound designer. I studied music in a conservatory here in Mexico and did my master's degree in music and sonic media at the University of Sussex last year.
Hello, my name is Sumedh and I'm a postgraduate student in the School of Informatics and Engineering at the University of Sussex. I've handled the technical development and deployment of the application.
Hello, I'm Simon Williams, lecturer in English language in the School of Media, Arts and Humanities at Sussex.
So we're going to talk a bit about the background of this project and the reasons for developing the app. We'll explain how it works and then discuss what we've learned and our next steps. This project was aimed at supporting students on foundation courses, although we believe there's a wider application for international students who are also studying English for academic purposes. And at Sussex, there's a central foundation years programme with 4 strands. We have arts and humanities, social science, psychology, and business studies. And they're up to around 850 students that enrol on the foundation programme each year. And all 4 strands take academic development or EAP module. So it's a core module. All students must complete it. And they have 3 short reflective writing assignments. So reflective writing is being used increasingly within EAP modules in foundation courses, and it's often seen as a valuable academic writing skill for a range of undergraduate as well as postgraduate courses for both home and international students. We know that reflective writing within courses has many benefits for students. In fact, Gibbs said that without taking the time to reflect, learning potential is lost. So reflective writing can facilitate academic development, especially at foundation level, when students are learning to adapt to higher level study at university. And the ability to reflect critically and express their ideas clearly is also needed in the workplace. So for all these reasons, reflective writing has value within EAP writing courses. However, students find this challenging. Why is that? Well, reflective essays are viewed by many teachers as a genre with a required structure, and students may not fully understand how to write in this way. They additionally might not have much previous experience of reflective writing, and this is especially the case with international students. And a further reason is that during courses, there might not be many opportunities to receive feedback until the final submission. And even when there is, students may still require further practice to improve. So as a result of our observations of our students on the foundation courses and also reviewing the literature, about 2 years ago, Simon and I decided to collaborate on the development of some new reflective writing resources for our online academic skills site. And this proved to be a useful resource, both for students and for lecturers. But we felt that more was needed, and that's why we decided to develop the app. And we identified 3 key criteria. First of all, we wanted it to be something that was very easy to use without having the need for lots of guidance beforehand. We wanted it to be easy to access as well. So although it's a web-based app, it can be used on tablet or phone, which means that students can access it wherever they are and at any time. We also wanted opportunities for regular practice so that students could keep a record of their writing and use it perhaps several times a week, whenever they had a learning experience that they wanted to reflect on. And we hoped that seeing their progress would build their confidence. And then the third point was having components that would increase their motivation. We felt that was important. And so we've included colour and music, and we'll explain more about that in a moment. Additionally, we wanted immediate feedback for the students so they wouldn't have to wait for the tutor to mark their work. And we thought that this could also motivate them to use the app as they were seeing how they could improve. Although the development for this project was staff-led, we felt that student input would be valuable. So we asked schools to advertise on our behalf, and we had Mo and Sumedh join us, and they collaborated with us on the project. And they're going to talk now a little bit about their roles and the work that they did. So first of all, I'm going to hand over to Sumedh.
Thank you. So let me run you through how the development of the app actually went. So the development for the application began as part of my undergraduate dissertation. Working together with my supervisor and the guidance from the language school, I was able to create a working prototype with a background comprised of natural language processing and modern web technologies. This prototype was successfully iterated upon and further developed into the application you can see now. I'll now run through a quick process on how to actually use the application. So, the first steps involves registration to the website and logging in with the newly created details. From there, we then go on to create a journal to write an entry, and then we generate and read the feedback, and from there, apply that feedback when writing a new entry, and then continue to write new entries on a regular basis.
Thank you for going through that, Sumedh. So now, Mo, would you like to explain a little bit about the music side of it?
Sure. Well, the use of sounds alongside the feedback for the app started with Simon. We use them in a way similar to what can be called auditory icons, which is a term referred by studies that show an improvement on online lessons, thanks to its use as a support in terms of memorability and user satisfaction. When I joined the project, Simon already had in mind the idea of integrating sounds that could reflect a sense of progression with each entry. We defined the number of sounds that was required, a total of 240 unique sounds that could be used throughout the year of continuous entries. For that challenge, I suggested a system of composition in which I will compose a short musical theme for each month of the year, which could be divided into 5 parts to get the individual sounds for 5 working days of entries, such as the score in the above part of the slide shows. Since 1 month has approximately 4 weeks, I did 3 progressive variations over each of those 12 months to get a total of 240 sounds that could be heard. Those sounds could give a sense of improvement each time it was repeated, and well, that can be shown in the below part of the slide in the levels of the variation. Then we also thought of the possibility that some entries might not show too much progression or effort, so a final variation of that will be only used for those previous mentioned cases was also added, giving us 60 more sounds with a total of 300 sounds, and which its characteristic will be that the melody will be sound slightly out of tune. Finally, I shall play 2 audios as a simple example. First, I will play the sound corresponding to a Friday audio of the theme of April in the last level of the variation, which will be heard after 24 good entries. For the second audio, we will hear the opposite, which will be the Friday audio of a poor submission. Hope that illustrates a little bit of what we did. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mo, for explaining that. So once we developed the app, we wanted to test it out. And so we initially got some feedback from some student focus groups and did some user testing as well to improve the design of the app. And then we asked for our participants. We had actually 12 students and 16 lecturers. The students were made up of foundation and international students, and the lecturers either taught on EAP modules or foundation courses, or they were teaching EAP to international students. And we wanted to find out whether the app could improve students' reflective writing, as well as their motivation and confidence. So these were the key things that we were thinking about. And we asked them to use the app and then answer an online questionnaire. So I'm going to share with you now some of the results that we got from the survey. So we asked the students to state whether they agreed or disagreed with this. And as you can see, 70% agreed that they did find reflective writing challenging. So this demonstrates that it is a problem for many students. Then we asked if they agreed with this statement, and we found that 75% agreed that they'd had little or no experience of reflective writing. So again, it does seem that their lack of experience is having an effect on their ability with reflective writing. And after that, we asked whether they agreed or not with these statements. So after using the app, they then could state that their agreement with, for example, whether the app helps me improve my reflective writing. And as you can see, 92% agreed with that. Many of them commented on the different colours. Some found the music was very helpful. 75% agreed that it helped them practice, helped them to be motivated to keep practicing. We also asked them for some qualitative feedback. There's a range of comments here. And through doing this, we're able to see which features really they were finding most helpful. So the colour was mentioned. They found the feedback very constructive, and it was quite easy to use as well. And the last comment there, the fact that they said it guided them through the process of successfully reflecting, was very interesting to see. So we felt it was achieving our aims. We were achieving those criteria that we set out at the beginning. Here you can also see some feedback that we got from lecturers. Again, a range of comments. And the one particularly at the top, which mentions that the on-the-go nature of the app is fitting for reflective activity. They felt that that would encourage regular reflection. Also, the immediacy of the feedback was commented on. And a nice comment here that where the lecturer said, I'll definitely test it with my students, especially in the module which requires weekly journal entries. We also asked for some suggestions on how we could improve on the app. And here you can see some of the comments. This was quite interesting that the suggestion for a template, and the student also commented on something similar. So obviously they felt that there was a need for more support with the reflective writing. A comment on the colours as well. That's something that's very important to think about because we did use green and red. And the comment there about the red could be seen as a little bit negative. These are all things that we can think about and are going to be very useful developing it further. This point about having more personalised feedback, a student commented on this, and also this lecturer and a few others also mentioned this. And I think we don't expect the app to replace individualised feedback from the teachers, but we see it more as a supplementary tool. And in fact, there was an interesting comment here from a lecturer that said that perhaps having this further step to encourage students to comment on any dialogue they'd had with their lecturer or with other students might be useful within the app. So these are things to think about, but we do realise there are limits to what the app can do, and it's not intended to replace their lecturers. So overall, what have we learned from this? We do believe that there is a need for reflective writing sources such as this app, and that it can support EAP students. And we think it could motivate them actually to practice writing reflectively, even incorporated within modules, as we saw in the comment from one of the lecturers earlier. The feedback that we've received also shows that further refinements are required. And that's something that is going to be very useful for us, having their comments and seeing ways that we can develop it. We've also found that working collaboratively with staff and students has definitely speeded up the process. And even under lockdown, we've still been able to accomplish quite a lot through this collaboration, bringing different skills and insights. Having students give their point of view has been very useful, and we think that's helped to improve the end product. And as you can see here in our survey, 87% of lecturers and 97% of students said they would recommend it to others. So our next steps. Well, we want to ask more colleagues to try out the app at Sussex, perhaps use it as a resource within their teaching, within EAP modules. And we're hoping that that will happen and we'll be able to see the results of that.
The next step is to open the application to a more robust system that uses pre-trained language models to provide improved feedback to the reflective writing text. This would improve upon the current approach while still having a strong link to the underlying rubrics. In the future, the app will be able to provide specific feedback based on the context of the writing, as said in the feedback.
We hope EAP colleagues will also experiment with apps and try including music or audio fragments to facilitate reflective writing and other specialist genres.
We'd encourage valued colleagues to experiment with the kind of work that we've done with staff-student collaboration, maybe involving larger groups of students in studying and selecting descriptors from marking criteria and building learning objects with them in smaller groups, perhaps electronic apps or face-to-face structured activities of another kind. Please get in touch with us if you think we could help, and see you on Saturday for the Q&A.